Your 2010 sprint champion, the Harvard-Princeton.
Well, we're really fortunate to have a large number of the guys who raced last season back with us this year. We had a very, very successful year. The sophomores in particular developed quickly, and after a sort of slow start, the first couple of races began to develop into a very fast crew, and we were pleased with the results. They rode a terrific race in the sprints to win the sprints for the first time in 3 years. We were really pleased by that. They made it through exams safely and rode a very strong race at the Harvard-Yale race. Didn't do quite as well as we'd hoped at the IRA, and I think that's one of the major goals of the squad this year, is to see if we can't have a stronger performance. That's a very challenging task, however, because it comes just 5 days after the Harvard-Yale race, which is a very demanding race. However, the crew has worked very hard to develop the capacity of doing that this year. We had a very successful fall, maybe one of the best ever. They raced the top 8 race extremely well in the head of the Charles, just missed beating Washington by a couple seconds and ahead of Cal. And then they did very well in the tail of the Charles at the end of the fall. All of the fours performed at a very high standard. This year, for our winter training trip, we went to just outside Sarasota in Florida, whereas a year ago we were in Miami. And the Sarasota site worked out extremely well for us. On the whole, much better water conditions, so we were able to get good training in every day that we were there. I thought it was a very successful training period. We got some very good, solid rowing in, and that stood us in good stead when we came back. We were indoors a little longer than we had hoped to be in February into March, but I think the guys are beginning to get the feel of the boats again, and we should be ready to give a good account of ourselves in our first race with Cornell. I think that the sophomores have made an impact already, and I think they're ready. They're going to be ready to contribute both at the varsity and the JV level for sure. The squad as a whole has trained very hard and developed very well over the course of the fall and winter, and I think we go into the spring now in a strong position. The squad probably has somewhat higher expectations. They're more proven than they were last year. On the other hand, I think they know that they have to make things happen. That we're going to face some very strong competition throughout our dual and triangular racing season, starting with Cornell and then Brown and then Princeton, all three of whom should be quite strong. And then, I think that the competition at the sprints is going to be very challenging. I think they probably have a slightly higher level of confidence in their ability, but they also know that they have to make things happen. They can't expect them to.